Jack London, The Little Lady of the Big House, Part 27. Young Dick bought the newspapers and frightened Tim by reading to him the lurid accounts of the kidnapping of the young heir to the Forest Millions. Back in San Francisco, the Board of Guardians offered rewards that totaled $30,000 for the recovery of their ward, and Tim Hagen, reading the same while they lay in the grass by some water tank, branded forever the mind of young Dick with the fact that honor beyond price was a matter of neither place nor castle caste, and might outcrop in the palace, on the height of land, or in the dwelling over a grocery down on the flat. "Gee," Tim said to the general landscape, "the old man wouldn't raise a row if I snitched on you for that 30,000. It makes me scared to think of it." And from the fact that Tim thus openly mentioned the matter, young Dick concluded that there was no possibility of the policeman's son betraying him. Not until 6 weeks afterward in Arizona did young Dick bring up the subject. "You see, Tim," he said, "I've got slathers of money. It's growing all the time, and I ain't spending a cent of it. Not so, as you can notice, though, that Mrs. Summerstone is getting a cold $1,800 a year out of me, with board and carriages thrown in, while you and I are glad to get the livings of firemen's pails in the roundhouses. Just the same, my money's growing. What's 10% of $20? Tim Hagen stared at the shimmering heat waves of the desert and tried to solve the problem. "What's 1/10 of 20 million?" young Dick demanded irritably. "Huh, 2 million, of course. Well, 5%'s half of 10%. What does 20 million earn at 5% for 1 year?" Tim hesitated. "Half of it, half of 2 million, young Dick cried. "At that rate, I'm $1 million rich every year. Get that and hang on to it and listen to me. When I'm good and willing to go back, but not for years and years, we'll fix it up, you and I. When I say the word, you'll write to your father. He'll jump out to where we are waiting, pick me up, and cart me back. Then he'll collect the 30,000 reward from my guardians, quit the police force, and most likely start a salon. 30,000's a hell of a lot of money," was Tim's nonchalant way of expressing his gratitude. "Not to me," young Dick minimized his generosity. 30,000 goes into $1 million 33 times, and $1 million's only a year's turnover of my money. But Tim Hagen never lived to see his father a saloon keeper. 2 days later, on a trestle, the lads were fired out of an empty boxcar by a brakeman who should have known better. The trestle spanned a dry ravine. Young Dick looked down at the rocks 70 feet below and demurred. "There's room on the trestle," he said, "but what if the train starts up?" "It ain't going to start." "Beat it while you got time," the brakeman insisted. "The engine's taking water at the other side. She always takes it here." But for once the engine did not take water. The evidence at the inquest developed that the engineer had found no water in the tank, and started on. Scarcely had the two boys dropped from the side door of the boxcar, and before they had made a score of steps along the narrow way between the train and the abyss, then the train began to move.